Hi everybody, I am Sarah with the Trains, and you join me for another instalment of my series Exploring the Breckland Line. Today I am at Attleborough because I'm heading off to explore two of the more tricky stations, which means I'm not actually getting on a train here. I've got to go for a bit of a walk first to reach the first station, which is Eccles Road. It's only about an hour and a half walk from here, so let's head there. One thing I didn't mention at the start of the video is that when I'm walking, there's going to be quite a big section that has no pavement because it's right in the middle of nowhere. So I'm now going to stash my camera in my bag because I'm really going to have to keep my wits about me with regards to traffic and such while I'm walking on the verges. We're getting closer. We're on Station Road in Eccles. Ooh, Garnier Village Hall. Wonder if it has a laboratoire. Oh, we're nearly at the level crossing. Here we are again, back at Eccles Road. Oh, the level crossing is going down. From here, the alarm sounds a bit weird. I'll have to see if I can get a closer inspection of that next time it goes down. Well, I have made it after about an hour and a half of walking. I am here at Eccles Road for the second time, and there's a train horn. The train I was actually expecting was the train from Norwich to Stansted. From looking at real-time trains, I was actually expecting to have a bit longer before the train from Liverpool came through, so I was on the wrong platform to get a really good shot of that, unfortunately. The alarm's going off again. It's time for the train to Stansted, I think. That alarm does sound phenomenally strange. I think it's a bit off. And that was 755421 headed to Stansted. So the last time I was here was back in February of 2023. I only came and visited the station. I didn't get on or off a train here. That's why I'm back today, because I can't tick it off my list of the stations in Norfolk if I haven't got on or off or both of a train here. So of course I have done the history and the facilities of this station before, and I'm going to pop a link up somewhere to the original video so you can go and watch that. I don't want to reinvent the wheel, so to speak. I've just been looking out for any new features at the station since I was last here, so we'll go and point those out. There's not many. So we've got this accessibility ramp. I'm not sure whether this was here last time or not. I'll have to go back over my old footage and find out, I suppose. I do believe, however, that the keep back from the platform edge signs are new. I don't think they were here last time. I feel like the assistance for your journey signs are new also. And of course, the lovely planters weren't in as full bloom as they are now last time I was here. So that's really nice to see. As you can see across the road, we've still got the signal box, even though it was decommissioned in 2012 when the signalling was changed and the barriers were changed from manual gates to the modern automatic barriers that you see today. There was a plan to demolish the signal box in 2017, but thankfully that hasn't come to pass. Over on this side, we've still got the phone box. Still no phone in it, although the advertisements for babysitting, I think it was last time, has gone. Does it open? No. We do have some different notices in the Eccles notices board this time. Well, I didn't notice this QR code on the bench last time. I'm not scanning it because I have no idea what it is. In terms of the history of the station, it was opened in 1845, as were the other stations on the line, and it served an old settlement called Eccles, which no longer exists. However, there is a settlement now called Eccles, which has sprung up around this station, so it's kind of new Eccles, which I think is what I called it in my first video. Now, from looking at old maps, there were some station buildings here, but those are now gone or are no longer in use, because I think that White House on the other side of the line may have been an old station building, but I'm not 100% sure. This is the White House I'm talking about. So I've just been checking real-time trains, and that East Midlands train that shot through was in the time slot of something that was supposedly cancelled. It was something that was also supposedly running on a 158, not a turbo start. I am very confused. Also, the light is playing havoc with the camera today. That was 755404. Now let's quickly get back across the line because there's a train coming the other way. Just waiting for the level crossing alarm, and I can see loads of wasps around the signal box. I think there's a wasp nest in there. 158866. So as for why I've walked here today, that is because the station is so little served that it only gets 2 trains going up to Norwich in the morning and 2 trains in the late afternoon going towards Stansted. And I wanted to visit both Eccles Road and Harling Road today, so the only way to do it by train is that I walk here, get the train to Harling Road, and then get the train from Harling Road to Thetford to get back to Norwich. And as I was walking from Attleborough to here, as I said, a lot of that journey there were no pavements. I was hopping on and off the verges depending on if there were cars coming or not. And when I was getting closer towards Eccles, a lady actually pulled up ahead of me, opened the car door and asked me if I wanted a lift. I said no. And the reason for that is that stranger danger doesn't end when you're 18. Stranger danger still applies when you're an adult. Now, I am almost certain that her intentions were good and she just wanted to give somebody who was clearly walking a very long way a lift to help them out, especially as it's really hot today. However, I've seen enough true crime documentaries to know that it is not worth taking the risk of accepting a lift from a stranger. Serious bit of the video over. The next train to arrive at Eccles Road is going to be my train to Harling Road, so that's the end of the train spotting at Eccles, I'm afraid. Eccles Road was always going to be a really difficult one to do because of how little it is served, but I think this is working out quite well. although I am pretty tired from that walk. One thing that really struck me last time I was here is the length of the platforms at Eccles Road. There isn't any of it that's closed off like there has at Buckingham and similar places, but it's such a little used station and you don't have to worry about getting on or off a particular door of the train because the platforms are so long. Eccles Road is lovely, but I won't be sad to be away from the wasp's nest in the signal box. It suddenly occurs to me, apologies if I said this last time, but I don't think there's a flappy plastic bin at Eccles Road. And it is 755413.
The next stop will be Harling Road. Welcome to this service for Stansted Airport. We will be calling at Harling Road, Thetford, Brandon, Shippey Hill, Ely, Cambridge North, Cambridge, Whittlesford Parkway, Audley End and Stansted Airport. The next stop will be Harling Road.
We have made it to Harling Road, the second of my tricky little stations for the day. So before I get into the history of Harling Road, I just want to address something very interesting that I found on that announcement on the train. That train is going to Shippey Hill. It was my understanding that trains to Shippey Hill only went towards Norwich at 7 in the morning. Must be an update to the train timetables that I need to look at, because that means it might be a heck of a lot easier to do Shippey Hill than I originally thought. Although if it's a summer timetable one, then I'll have to get done with that quickly. So Harling Road opened in 1845 as Harling. It was then changed to Harling Road in 1849 and has remained that way ever since. It was closed to freight in 1964, and these days it sees a very limited service, 2 trains in the morning and 2 trains in the late afternoon, so it's not the most, shall we say, accessible station in the sense of if you want to get to and from Harling, or should I say East Harling, because that's the village it serves. Now I think it's time for a quick run round and run down of the station facilities. We have got 2 lovely long platforms, didn't have to worry about getting trapped on the train at this station. Down here we've got several benches, this time they're blue, and they also have that QR code that there was at Eccles Road. I really don't know what that is. There's also this recently stuck on, by the looks of it, tactile paving. Always good to see tactile paving at work. The good old keep back from the platform edge sign. And down here we have got undercover cycle storage. Down here we have got information posters, as well as accessibility ramp, and a tractor, and a flappy plastic bin, as well as more train times, how to get assistance for your journey sign. And I'm no expert, but I think this building is to let. We've got the departure screen telling me that the next train I can get is the 1751 towards Stansted. Out here we have got station car park, an Amazon locker, And over here I've just noticed we've got a very old post box, because this post box set into the wall says VR Queen Victoria. We also have the Rowdham and Harling Parish Council notice board, and a grip bin, and the usual help point. And the barriers are going down, so there's a train coming. But I don't know from what direction, so better stand back. Going across the level crossing, we have got a phone box, but does it work? Well, it opens, but there's no phone, lots of spider webs, and BT no longer own the kiosk. So it definitely doesn't work. For some reason outside the phone box there is a box of children's sand toys. Don't really know why. Over on the Norwich bound platform we have got the information signs. We've got the lovely dilapidated bus shelter style waiting shelter. Help point of course, and a departure screen. Got lots of this new tactile paving, always good. Very narrow platform to try and stand behind it though. And that's it for features over here on platform 1. Over on platform 2 we do have that old station building, although sadly it is disused at the moment. It's all boarded up and locked up, but there is that to let sign, so I'm not sure what that's going to become. We do have another old station building, or what looks to be an old station building, on the other side of the line, but that does appear to be somebody's house now. I often wonder what people think when they see me running around near stations trying to get a good shot of a train. Don't really care what they think, to be fair. Just curious. By 5416. I saw 416 earlier. $170,535, a Turbo Star. Now I've still got about an hour and a half until my train to Thetford, so I'm now going to take a little walk into East Harling, because it's only about a 20-minute walk into the centre. Hello cows! As if by magic, I am now back at Harling Road Station. I didn't film my walk back because no matter what you've done in life, I don't think anybody deserves to suffer watching me eat a Magnum and chugging down a bottle of Lucasade. Now, before the train gets in to take me off to Thetford, where I can pick up a train to Norwich to get home, I've got another little bit of information about Harling Road Station, or the railway around it. A few years ago, a tortoise called Clyde escaped from nearby Swallow Aquatics and got onto the railway line. Unfortunately, it seems he got clipped by a train because when he was found, he had damage to his shell. They had to halt operations on the railway line, meaning there was a lot of delayed trains and a lot of people getting up in arms about that, because they needed to get him off the railway line, and he was an enormous tortoise. He wasn't like a little terrapin, which isn't a tortoise, it's a terrapin, but you know what I mean, just for scale. He was an enormous tortoise. I think he weighed about 50 kilos, so they had to wait for him to be taken off the railway safely, and he had to have shell surgery. But thankfully he made a full recovery, and the line went back to normal operation relatively quickly. So don't be fooled by their speed. Tortoises can, and have, escaped onto railway lines. Keep the door shut. I would be really intrigued to know how many miles I have walked today, because that walk into East Harling turned out to be more like half an hour than 20 minutes. So maybe I'll have to do some sums because my legs are complaining. Just before the train gets in, I want to say thank you to everybody for watching me visit these two little stations that have been very tricky to get to. Thanks to everybody who likes, subscribes, comments, and to all my donors on Ko-fi, Patreon, and my YouTube members. I will see you all next time for another railway adventure. Bye. As always, an extra special shout out to all my patrons and channel members. You really do help keep this channel going. If anybody would like to become a patron or channel member, the links are in the description below.
Welcome to this service for Stansted Airport. We will be calling at Thetford, Brandon, Ely, Cambridge North, Cambridge, Whittlesford Parkway, Audley End, and Stansted Airport. The next stop will be Thetford.